everyone, and welcome to Solo GPS, where we learn to take our life back in our hands after narcissistic abuse. And today I'm going to answer a question from one of my viewers. And before I get to it, I wanted to make two quick comments. Comment number one is, if you have a question that you'd like me to answer in the video, please send it to the address down below. And also make sure that your question is about a paragraph or two, so it's not super long. If you want a really detailed answer, in which case you can write me a really long email describing in detail what's happening to you, that is the email support service that I'm offering. Information is also down below. The other thing is, if you don't indicate in the email that you don't want me to call you by your name that is on the email, then I'm going to do just that. Otherwise, please let me know that you'd like me to keep you as anonymous, present you as anonymous, in which case, of course, I will respect your anonymity. Okay, so here's a question. This question comes from Amber, and Amber asks, my narc and I met through our family, through our friend family, I call them. We have spent years together as friends, and then he and I started dating. 3 years into dating, and I'm at the point where I have to get out. Our friends see what he's doing, and many of them have spoken to him suggesting that he goes to counseling too, not just me. He won't. He says he will, but we both know he won't. When I am finally able to go no contact, should I prepare myself for losing this friend family too? I did 3 weeks no contact until my roommate hosted a barbecue and invited the narc. Of course, I broke and fell for the I am lost without us bullshit. I've asked my roommate to find a new place to live, which will really screw me financially since both the boyfriend and the roommate pay 2/3 of the bills. But I'm ready for this challenge financially, and I am putting on my armor for the final battle by listening obsessively to your videos and other narc recovery videos. Please help me figure out who exactly I need to prepare to lose so I don't backslide again. The abuse has been getting worse. It finally escalated to physical last time I told him to leave. If I don't prepare and break the cycle before the devaluation starts, not only will I be a survivor of emotional abuse, but physical abuse too. Wow, so who exactly do you need to prepare to lose? I am so glad you have decided not to lose yourself in this insanity you have been put through. Once abuse escalates, goes from emotional, psychological to physical, we're reaching a really dangerous territory. Not that before it wasn't dangerous, but at this point you really, I would go as far as to say putting your life in danger. So thank you so much for writing. Thank you so much for asking the question, and congratulations for taking the steps in considering all the things you need to do in order to break free. So I think your question is really relevant to many of us who are really afraid of losing our circle of friends, right? Because the narcissist is not just often a standalone person, especially if we've been together for a long time. It represents also their family, it represents their friends, you know, it's all really interconnected. So once you let go of that key relationship, it is only natural to wonder what's going to happen. And the answer is that we don't really know what is going to happen. And I would say that for the sake of your own sanity, you do need to prepare that there will be a possibility that you may need to move away from that circle. But it all depends. So first thing, very important point, is no contact with the narcissist. It is absolutely crucial. You mentioned something in your email that I'm not very clear on, and that is the fact that you're sharing, they're sharing 2/3 of the bills, the narcissist and your roommate. So I'm wondering, does the roommate pay for your bills, or does, I'm sorry, not roommate, the narcissist, or does he actually live in the house? So I'm not sure about that, but because it's really crucial that, again, you do not see him, you do not talk to him, you cancel all of your social media connections with this person. You do not want to hear from them, because if you do, you're going to relapse back into the trauma bond. And you know how strong it is just based on what you said here, that after 3 weeks, you know, he told you he can't live without you, and then there you guys are back again, and now he's getting physical with you. So the no contact is absolutely crucial, and it's really good that you do not really have the need to be in contact with him, which would be the case, let's say, if you shared a home, or if you, like, for example, you guys owned a home together, or if you know, were married, or if you had children, so you're free of that. So thank goodness, that makes things so much easier. So one question that popped in my mind when I was reading your email was, you're saying that it might put some financial strain on you if you do stay where you are and let the roommate go. So my question is, would it be maybe easier, or something to potentially consider, to just up and move somewhere else completely, maybe to a smaller apartment, to a smaller place, which will not only allow you a new start, a new beginning for yourself, which really helps, really helps. It helped me so much, because that's kind of what I did. But also it will ensure that those people will not be hovering around, you know, that they're not going to be there to tempt you to get back into that toxic situation. Now, let's look a little bit more at the circle of friends. So it's really difficult for me to gauge what kind of people they are. If they really are your friends, they will respect your decision. They will not bring up the narcissist into conversations. They will really allow you to do whatever it is that you need to do in order to heal, and be there as a support system for you. In order to gain that, you're going to have to be extremely clear in your communication with them that this is what you're seeking. If you notice that they're having issues with that, or they'll say, yeah, that's fine, no problem, but then you meet them, say, for coffee, and they say something like, oh, did you know that he just met this new girl and blah, 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 or, you know, he just came over and he couldn't stop thinking about you. Maybe you should consider getting back with him because he's been crying for weeks, right? So even though, you know, because you've made the decision now to break contact and you did that, these seemingly benign comments can spiral us back into incredibly difficult state of being, state of mind that you have worked so hard to get out of. So just know this, that this can be very dangerous. So again, if they respect you, they will, and if they support you, they're really your allies, they're going to respect your decision. Another possibility you could do is go for something that's kind of like low contact, or I don't know, it doesn't have a name, but let's just say long distance contact or longer time contact, no contact. So basically what you would do is state to those circle of friends really honestly that what you're trying to do, you know, that you need to get the distance, that you need to get away from being with this person, and the fact that they're friends, you want to respect that, and you don't want to get in between that, so they can still, you know, have their relationship, but you need to take some distance. So maybe you need to take a few months of no contact with them and then re-engage later. Perhaps that's something you might want to consider. Maybe not letting them know that face to face. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can send an email or send a letter or a note or something along those lines. So feel within yourself, like, what of the things that I'm saying, what feels the most, would make more sense to you and give you the most peace. And the other thing would be, you know, just to be careful, because these people might turn into flying monkeys, which means that they're going to, you know, act as proxies for the narc and try to, you know, guilt you into getting back with them, even though they may be, you know, pretty aware, based on what you're saying, of the fact that he's not really, his behavior is not good, it's not cool, and they're aware of the counseling situation, right? So it's not like you dropping a bomb on them with this information. It sounds like they already know, they've been initiated. So, but if they're gonna try to suck you back into it and guilt you for it, that's really toxic. Also, you want to be careful with smear campaign. I don't know what kind of a person this is, this narc, but if he's going this far and getting physical with you, you can only expect that the moment you completely say no, he's going to start saying all sorts of things about you, and most likely engage the circle of friends to try to turn them against you. So I'm even wondering about this barbecue, whether it was sort of instigated on purpose to bring you guys, the two of you, together. right? Like the narc was sort of whispering behind your back to the friend, let's organize this, and I want to see her, and da 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 da. I don't know if that is the case, but it's surely a possibility. They're master manipulators. You have to remember that. And all they think about is themselves and their own goodwill. They don't care about you. Because if he did care about you, he wouldn't start hitting you, right? He would start changing in real time. But he's not doing that. He's not showing any signs of wanting to change. So the best thing you can do, my dear, is literally cut off. It may mean losing the family. But so what? You're going to make new friends. You're going to make new friends consciously after you go through your healing, right? You're going to become a much more integrated person as a result. You're going to have the opportunity to really find out who you are. And let me tell you, living on your own could be one of the most wonderful things ever. Spending time in solitude is so essential in our healing, because while it is difficult initially, and because you have all these emotions to sift through, you do have to sift through those emotions sooner or later anyway. Otherwise, they will be haunting you for the rest of your life and sabotaging your other relationships. So yeah, dive into it head first, hold those emotions, breathe into them, journal, maybe engage a therapist, maybe engage a coach, whatever is available to you to speed you up on your healing journey. Watch the videos, do the exercises. There are plenty of wonderful programs for victims of narcissistic abuse out there, for survivors. I like that term better, for survivors of narcissistic abuse. So you can start doing programs, maybe take a yoga class, maybe go do a solo trip and explore your town, explore, summer is coming. So might be a good time for you to really spend time with yourself. So take this really difficult time and turn it into lemonade, right? Turn it into an opportunity for yourself to emerge out of it as a victorious warrior who's going to live the life of her dreams. So I hope that this answer helped you. I hope that this answer maybe helped also other people who are struggling with this question. I just recently got another question from another person who's kind of in the same vein, and it deals with toxic family members. This person is really feeling like they need healing. They need the time off. But there's this huge guilt. Like, these people they just control us with guilt. They control us with fear, and they control us with shame and a sense of obligations. The FOG, right? The FOG acronym. Fear, obligation, guilt. Be aware of this. Great book to check out is Susan Forward, one of my favorite writers. She has a book called Emotional Blackmail, I believe. Fantastic book. Both of you ladies, and anyone else who can relate to this, get this book. If you are afraid of losing other people that you suspect are manipulative, and read it. Learn about the tactics that they use so you can spot it early on. But most importantly, take care of yourself. Take care of your sanity. Take care of your safety. You cannot be safe if you're in the presence of those people. You cannot be sane. They're going to keep on putting you back into that traumatic, trauma-bonded experience, which is just so difficult. And that's the thing we need to get over. Once we get on the other side of that mountain, life shifts drastically, dramatically. New doors open, new options open. It is such a blessing to go through this experience with that in mind. Right? It becomes your hero's journey, as I always say. So again, if this means distancing yourself from other people, do it without feeling guilt. If you do feel guilt, start to examine it. Why do you feel that way? Was it a past training that you've been put through? Very likely. Very likely. Remember to value yourself as the number one most important person in your life. Number two most important person in your life is going to be your life partner. So make sure that that person is your ally, they're your friend, they're on your side. In order to find that person, in order to meet that person, you're going to have to go through your healing first. So you prepare yourself for a toxicity-free relationship. So, okay, I'm going to wrap up here. Again, I hope that this helped. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys thought. If you do have questions for me, send me an email. The email is down below. If you do need email support, I am happy to provide that. Also, I started in a very limited fashion because I am traveling, because I am kind of unreliable with my email, but I started to offer very few Skype sessions. So if this is something, if you're in a situation that is really difficult, that you really need to talk to someone, send me an email and let me know. We might be able to figure out a way where I'm in a location that does have reliable internet to set something up. Alright, I'm sending you guys a lot of love, and remember to always let your inner compass guide you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.